I don't know, maybe I was in the wrong neighborhood or something, but I was always down around 8%. I don't know, I wasn't getting the good stuff. And that actually, 1981, that's when I was a narc out on the street, so I don't know, I didn't know the right people, I guess. 2006, look at this, 67% for cocaine, 30 to 36% for heroin. Heroin's through the roof now as it relates to purity. And I want to talk just briefly about that because people are afraid that we would have so many people using drugs that we'd have the overdoses and deaths would go crazy. It would just go through the roof. Overdoses would actually go down, folks, because of two reasons. Number one, we'll have the money to spend for treatment and to deal with this issue the way it should be from a health perspective, an education perspective. But you see how the purity levels can fluctuate, not just from year to year to year to year, but depending upon who's mixing the soup, who's cutting the drugs, and what they're cutting it with. Right now, there's no regulation. You can do whatever you want, wherever you want, in a bucket, in a bathtub, it doesn't matter. On a table that's got rat poison on it, it doesn't matter. Case in point, if I'm an addict, and I'm used to buying, now, not saying that you're a drug addict, but if I'm used to buying what I need from you, and for the past 6 months, you've been cutting, and that's what dealers typically do. They have their signature and they cut it a certain way. So for the past 6 months, I've been getting what I need from you. But during those 6 months, Joe Law Enforcement was working a case on you and your little group, and they take you out. In addition to the battle that's now going to take place to satisfy that market share that you once had, so the violence and all that stuff, whoever wins after the bodies fall, their cut is not going to be the same. They're going to mix whatever differently. Either way, I either come back to the person who filled your shoes or I go somewhere else. Either way, I'm going to get something that's different in purity and what it's cut with. Now I've got to say, okay, do I take the same amount? Do I take less? And if I take less, I'm not going to get my high. You know, and they end up taking the same amount. But unfortunately, instead of it being 19% or 20%, maybe it's 50%. And now, because it's a crime, your buddy in your little shooting gallery is not going to get you help. Wish you the best, but I got to go. Because they don't want to run the risk of being arrested. Okay? You're sure not going to drive yourself to the hospital. Oh, it's increased. Prices, 1981. $191 per gram of cocaine. 2007, $118. Oh my God, prices are going down. What's the thing with supply and demand? Okay, we just went through the gas thing, right? You know, less gas, higher cost. More gas, lower cost. Same correlation, folks. Must mean we have more drugs. Heroin prices. 1981 per gram, $1,100. Look at that. $207 2 years ago per gram. Worldwide production, 133 metric tons in 2001 for heroin. 2005, 577. Quadruple. And you saw Afghanistan, so, you know, terrorism, I'm not even going to go there tonight, but what we're funding, because we will not change our policies. Cocaine production in South America, 2001, 920 metric tons, 2006, 970. Modest increase, but still an increase. Yay!
This is why it is.
Number of employees almost quadrupled from 73 to 07.
Parkinson's law.
Here's the numbers, 2,800 to 10,000.
Imagine if they were at the SEC.
Let me tell you something about budget growth. That's on a federal level. But locally, you know, because you pay federal taxes, you pay local taxes. Locally, here's an example. Where I was in the Maryland State Police in 1981, when I was in narcotics, we had a very small unit. For instance, my team of 6 people, had Prince George's County, and these are Washington, D.C. counties. Prince George's County, Charles, Calvert, St. Mary's. At least 4. We may have another one. Okay, it's a team of 6 people. 6 people. There's only 23 counties in the state of Maryland. Okay, and that's 4 that are just so, I don't know, you guys are good at math. I'm not, but I'm just throwing that out. By the time I became a commander for the Bureau of Drug and Criminal Enforcement, we had a whole bureau. We had hundreds of people. So from back in 81, we had probably 70-something people, tops, doing drug work and criminal intelligence. So it just wasn't all drug work. When I became a commander in the late 1990s, that had jumped to an entire bureau, and the creation of all these task forces that now all these little police departments had to dedicate people to, which they had never done before. So quadruple, you're talking about an organization of folks that probably grew 6 to 7 times. And just multiply that across the country. Yes, sir.
This is a major cash cow. That's what you really fight.
Oh, we're not even talking about prisons yet.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's huge.
By the way, I just want to know that number. You talked about the budget growing. Did that include the value of the confiscations that they kept off budget?
No, but we're talking about funds coming out of the coffers, out of taxpayer dollars. We're not talking about
confiscations.
Right.
Which almost made DEA independent.
From 75.9 million to 2.3 billion. That's DEA. Drug arrests, tripled since 1980. Marijuana arrests have doubled since 1980. 500,000 to 1.89 million. Marijuana, like I said, just about doubled. 400,000 plus to 829. Alcohol arrest, this is interesting. 1995, 1,400. I'm sorry, 1.4 million. And for being drunk in public in 95, 708,000. In 07, not a whole lot of change there. Actually went down for being drunk in public.
Not worth the paper.
I'm going to kind of breeze through some of these slides real quick because I'm not really big into numbers. I want to get into talking a little bit more about some social issues and different things. Drug seizures. Look at the drug seizures. Just about double. But yet, there's more drugs on the street. Okay? This is, it's just unbelievable. Cocaine, heroin, drug usage. 1.5 million cocaine users in 2002, 280,000 heroin, 14.8 million marijuana users. 2002. 2006, 2.4 million cocaine. Let me flip that back. 1.5, 2.4, 1.5, 2.4. It's just in 4 years, guys. 4 years. Heroin, 338. 14.8. Marijuana pretty much has stayed pretty much along the same lines. The other two have gone up. How has prohibition changed drug use in our schools? See, because this is the one and only argument that you really hear. Our kids, they're going to be confused. Let me tell you folks, our kids are already confused. All right? They're already confused.